not going to make it worse. Do you think that Chavez tripped to Venezuela to embrace Ahmadinejad to make an agreement on oil swapping at the height of Ahmadinejad cracking down on the mass democracy movement is also outside of the capital relations?
I'll bet Chavez was moved to the successor in Iran in a minute. Okay, I bet you're absolutely right. That's deplorable. But at the same time, the people who are really the government of Venezuela, it's not Chavez. Right? We've seen again and again and again that he is there because of popular mobilization. Those popularly mobilized Venezuelans, I would suggest, would work very quickly with the democratic cells within Iran and jointly use the oil that they then control to stop climate change and save humanity.
It's making deals with Ahmadinejad. Chavez was the first government, even before Russia, to recognize Ahmadinejad's stolen election because he has an oil alliance with him.
Yeah, that is true. However, we also have to keep in mind that we're dealing with interstate relations. I know exactly, but
I know. That's my point.
But that's a problem. But that's creates also the contradictions, and it's not too dissimilar in my view from the contradiction of sort of having MRIs here and having other people killed for the metals that are used for making them. So what are we going to do?
You compare a government embracing somebody who is a Holocaust denier with somebody getting an MRR?
No. Well, I'm saying that there are interlinkages that unfortunately are present, and we're not going to surpass by picking and choosing at will, unfortunately. We don't have that option either. Yeah, I also have my issues with Chavez, yeah. But at the same time, what else can be done? So would you be willing to say Chavez is completely wrong and therefore all of that is rubbish and
Oh, don't pigeonhole.
No. I'm sorry. That's not what I mean to say. I mean, what is the alternative?
There's plenty of alternatives. You can come out and support the democracy movement in Iran, and you've been a lot more popular in the Middle East, Chavez. I'm sure of that.
No, the Chavezistas could be reached and say, why don't you block Chavez? That could be one alternative.
There was an open letter that was written from the Venezuelan workers' organization to the democracy movement in Iran, to Chavez, an open letter saying that he was embarrassing the workers' movement in Venezuela by his uncritical support for Ahmadinejad. That's what we should be focusing on, is the grassroots from below solidarity.
Sure, I would agree with that.
Yes, sure. Yes.
I just want to address something that David Schwartzman said, because I don't entirely agree with it. This is the tension that's between us. Not entirely. It's the military-industrial complex, that it is an entity, rather than it being a tentacle of the corporate wing. I mean, maybe a study of corporatism and militarization in the world. I mean, I guess the School of the Americas had a good film on that I saw a few years back, but it's just a means. I mean, the military-industrial complex isn't an entity unto itself. It's just a miserable front for the march of capitalism through corporate investment.
Let me just further this one. Indeed, the military-industrial complex is at the core of capital reproduction in the United States. It's over a tenth of the GNP. There are different ways of reproducing capital. There are capitalists that are investing in wind turbines and so on. We need to be a Leninist in this regard and use the contradictions and even among the different factions of capital to our advantage, while we still have capitalism, and then undermine capitalism in that process by building all the different movements that challenge the rule of capital, period. We've got to do both simultaneously, but we'll be doomed to climate catastrophe if we don't use the contradictions among capital, and some capitalist countries are almost fully solarized, like Spain and Portugal, and even use the contradictions among different capitalist states. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I'll have to pick a bus just right.
David, I think you're transferring a theory of the socially neutral character of technology and blurring it into a theory of the ecologically neutral character of technology. And and I think that, I mean, you're pretty dewy-eyed about solar energy and so forth as a solution. You look at Gore's program for establishing solar energy cities in the deserts of the southwest of the USA. And I mean, just look at the material ecological disruption of that particular eco-socialist solution. You know, infrastructure, moving whole populations, destabilization of relationships, loss of farmland, loss of tree growth, substitution of food-growing land by renting land in Central America and shipping the food back to America, you know, producing further pollution. I mean, the ecological costs of that kind of solution are mammoth. And yeah, but there is a dewy-eyed quality, you know, about technological solutions, which really, on the left, which really needs, you know, it really needs to be gone into there.
So I'd like to say in response to your suggestion of exploiting the conflicts between that maybe we should execute some bankers now. I think there'd be a lot of support for that. Financial capital.
I'm against capital punishment.
For the corporate person.
I'm against capital punishment. Not punishment of capital, but capital punishment.
All right, thank you all.
But biofuels are, I'm not talking about biofuels.
I know, you're talking
I'm
solar,
talking
and so
about
am
wind
I.
turbines on, yes, where you could have agriculture at the same time.
Come on, we're both science for people.
Yeah, Lee has a gift.
I have a number of T-shirts from the World Social Forum in Nairobi in 2007. On the front is are the Mau Mau freedom fighters, and it says, "Fighting terrorism since the 1880s," and I'm giving them away to anyone who so desires.
Manuel!
How's it going?
How are you?
Pretty good.